What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Jump to Start Racing podcast. My name is Wellington. I'm here with two of my closest friends.
We're back.
We're back, baby. And it's race week.
Yep.
Ruben, say hello.
What's going on, guys?
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Always very shy. Guys, today we'll be talking about some of the news that took place over the summer break. Japanese Grand Prix canceled. No driver movement, so nothing to really talk about there. Overtake Award. We're also going to be talking about the Belgian Grand Prix preview. Spa-Francorchamps is coming up this Sunday. One of the best tracks for the season. A lot of action. But before we get there, Ruben, how was your time off?
Too short. I needed more time. It flew by. The time just flew.
Thank you. Yeah, see?
Too damn long.
Too damn long.
We need some more. We need some F1 in my life.
Action.
Just
Yeah,
when I was getting used to sleeping in on Sundays.
Nah, man.
Only
I
3
don't
times.
know. I gladly wake up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Gladly wake up for an F1 race.
Yeah, yeah,
man.
of course.
Been too long. Been too long.
I don't know.
Considering especially we had like such horrible weather here in New York.
Dude.
So it's like we can't really do much. So a little bit of F1 on TV wouldn't be so bad on a Sunday morning.
I'm just disappointed because the weather is always hot, nice beach weather during the week. Like right now, we're just sweating in the Jump to Podcast headquarters. During the weekends, it's always rainy, it's always windy, it's always overcast.
We had a hurricane this weekend.
Hurricane Henri.
in New York.
Tell me about it.
Henri.
Henri. The French invaded us this weekend.
Poor barbecue.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Ruben. Belated.
Thank you.
Hope you had a wonderful time.
There you go.
Yeah, you didn't go.
Hell of a friend you are.
Yep.
Two of my not so close friends.
We're getting there.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into it. The news. The Japanese Grand Prix officially canceled by FIA. Obviously, what's been going on in the world with the coronavirus making a comeback, the Delta variant, etc., just doesn't make sense to hold the Japanese Grand Prix. I mean, they just had the whole Olympics there, right? Like
The entire
world was literally there.
weeks. And they just couldn't bring the F1 paddock into
For a weekend.
into Suzuka.
Behind closed doors.
I think that they just didn't want it.
And F1 has had a very good track record so far as their COVID protocols.
Testings and...
Yeah. And I don't think Japan is on the UK red list.
Nope.
So it wouldn't be a problem for the teams to get there and go back. But it sucks. That's 2 years in a row.
It's one of the best tracks on the calendar.
Yeah, man.
The driver favorite. And it was scheduled for mid-October, so it's not like it was imminent, but whatever. It's end of August going into September, so I get it.
I mean, they did have a big uproar about even holding the Olympics, and I think they had to do the Olympics just because they invested so much money and they needed to get some money back.
Did they?
Yeah, I mean, the TV deals they had to get paid somehow, and they did delay the Olympics an entire year. So, and I guess it happened, but
Did you
I
watch?
guess F1 is not a priority. The Olympics, yeah, I watched some of it. I'm a big Olympic fan. Watch some. What do you
Arm
call it?
I'm wrestling.
But I'll tell you what's been more fun has been the Hood Olympics
Oh my God.
with the milk crate challenge.
Oh my God.
That's been better.
Hit the drop.
Which one?
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. I guess we have to include a link in the show notes if people don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
What this stupid milk crate
I'm pretty
challenge
sure
is.
everyone knows. It's all over the
Where people
internet.
fall and literally break their heads.
There's a kid who broke 2 of his knees. He did it over concrete, dude. Come on, man. Whatever.
Doing it at all is bad.
All right, let's get back to Formula
I'm just
One.
letting you guys rip.
There's definitely no safety protocol there.
All right, so there's a couple of tracks being mentioned as a replacement for Japan, Suzuka. One of them is the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Long-time Formula One, back in the day.
Yeah, from 2000, 2007.
Well, not the Indianapolis Grand Prix, because that's actual Grand Prix.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. The Indianapolis
IndyCar,
Motor
but the
Speedway.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's hot in here.
Wrong cars.
It's hot in here, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Wrong cars.
It is.
All right. And then potentially aside from that is the race long rumored to be held in Qatar.
Is it Qatar or Qatar?
Or Qatar. I don't know.
It's
I think he was talking about
one
he
or the
got
other.
some papers.
It's both. But we do have a couple of tracks that are either out or in danger. Obviously, with Japan, there's also Australia that's out.
It's already canceled. Yeah.
And right now, the Turkish Grand Prix is in its death throes because it's on the UK red list,
Yeah.
meaning the drivers would have to, I think, quarantine 10 days before coming back, or
No, they
after
have
they come
to
back?
when they get to the because
When they get in the
7
UK.
of the 10 teams are based in the UK. So when they get to the UK, they have to quarantine in a government-sanctioned hotel for 10 days before
Jeez.
they can go back to work.
Who pays that bill?
The government, I guess.
The team.
Yeah, or the team. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Either way, it's that's the issue going forward. Is if any of these countries that F1 is going to, especially for those 7 teams, obviously if you can't hold the F1 race with 3 teams. So for all of F1, if that is an issue coming back to home base, because obviously they go back to the factories after every race, if any of those countries are still on that red list, it's gonna cause an issue just to even hold the event.
So it won't happen.
So yeah, it won't
Yeah,
happen.
things
I mean,
will change.
maybe things will get better. Right now, things are very high, but we're going into the fall, and things when it comes to respiratory diseases or seasonal respiratory diseases, as this is going to become, they spike up a little bit more. So
Yep.
we don't know what's gonna happen.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, they're
With your
still
mask.
going to get in enough races to have it.
Are they?
To have a legitimate champion. They already have enough. I think
Okay.
it's 8 or 9.
Okay. Across Europe.
Yeah, but I mean, this has been a very good season so far. We have Red Bull. To remind the audience, Red Bull and Mercedes are in a hell of a battle for the championship. And we have a very good midfield battle for, obviously you have McLaren and Ferrari fighting for 3rd place. And you have the 5th place battle with, remind me here, with Alpine. And, Alpine just took a big step. And AlphaTauri and
Aston
Martin. So, I mean, it's been a good season so far, and it's been very close. And what you want is as many races as possible so they can fight it out. So, should be good.
So there's Qatar, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and a second race in Bahrain are the most popular rumored tracks to be brought into the season to kind of make it work. Obviously,
Which one would you like the most?
I mean, Bahrain is a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, Bahrain's definitely going to
Bahrain,
Well, let's say we have Indianapolis and Cotton. Was it
Qatar.
Qatar or Qatar?
However you want to say it.
Qatar.
What sounds fancier? Qatar. So.
Yeah, it makes me
Yep.
sound more distinguished.
Exactly.
Which one would you like to see on the calendar more? You want to be a homer?
No, I mean, obviously, if we were to go to Indy, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have that. But I think Indianapolis is a more of it's a bigger spectrum if you bring it there.
Big spectacle.
Yeah, Qatar,
Mm-hmm.
they already held motorcycle races there. So MotoGP, so they do have tracks capable of probably handling F1. So they're probably going to have a big event as well there. And it's
Yeah,
already,
it is. It is already a F1 grade 8.
They do have that.
grade
So
8.
that was,
Yeah,
that was,
Qatar does. Yeah, they have a was it grade 8 license or something like that. So, but it would be cool to see IndyCar back again IndyCar.
Indianapolis.
F1 back in Indianapolis. They can definitely handle it, and obviously we see the amount of fans you could pack into that place. So that would be cool too. So, but
What do you
we'll
think
see.
was?
I think it's been so long since we've seen F1 cars in Indy, and I don't think we've ever seen them in Qatar, that wherever they want to go, I'm down with it as long as it's an entertaining race and everybody is safe. That's all I care about.
A person like you that's been to that area, not Qatar, but Indianapolis. Would you say it should feasible for us to go?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We could drive there.
But you flew there.
I flew to Chicago, and then I drove down from Chicago to Indy to watch the Giants win the Super Bowl.
Go Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how I threw him in there?
They don't look good. Anyway, let's reel this back in and let's move on. Crypto.com, Formula One and Crypto.com have teamed up to introduce a Overtake Award for the driver that has completed the most overtakes throughout the course of the year. Right now, Sebastian Vettel is leading that statistic. Do we really care?
It's bringing light to a topic that people would look into, and you're saying, people don't care about that. But if you bring it up front, the way they're trying to do with
if they
crypto,
add like a counter, like as
they
people
are
are
actually,
doing it,
and
they are
crypto paying all that money, why not?
The reason, part of the reason why they're doing it is because crypto is a big sponsor of the sprint races, but obviously the sprint races are not going to be going all across. It's only going to be for 2 more events. So the reason why they're bringing it in is obviously they'll have a counter actually on the screen throughout every race, presenting Crypto.com and the overtakes and who's leading it. I think it'll be more engaging for the fans. Obviously, it's more of an award to highlight the midfield, which obviously needs highlighting, especially when they're not shown on TV as much, because we have a big fight between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen at the front. So I think it'll be, as far as fan engagement, yeah, I think it'll be cool. As far as sponsorship, yeah, it'll be great. It's another something, obviously, any sponsors that you can bring into the sport is better. Why not, man? We didn't think that the fastest lap was going to be a big deal, and it's actually turned out to be pretty strategic, and it's fun to watch at the end, and obviously every point matters, so why not? I don't know, they're not obviously not going to give any points, but it's another award that people can look to, and then going forward we could say, Daniel Ricciardo, if he wins the award of Sebastian Vettel, is actually a better overtaker than Lewis Hamilton,
right now,
or something like that.
Vettel is on track to win this year 2 awards, because he won what's the other thing, the one where they were doing where they were talking to the drivers about tracks and the history.
Name all the champions,
and he just named them all.
That was impressive. Yeah. That was.
But
really
they gave him an
impressive.
award for that. I just can't remember what was the actual, Grill of the Grid. That's what I think it's called.
Yeah.
And they gave him an award for.
If you do that, there's no. It's like drop the mic, boom, done.
That's why he didn't do that part.
Yeah, man.
I feel like they kind of really need to clarify the rules, right? Because say I pit early, fresh tires. Say everybody pits after me, and I just do an undercut on everybody. Do all those overtakes count when people are in the pit lane, or is it just overtakes on the track?
That's you know what I was thinking the same thing.
Just took it mad technical.
No, but it's true though.
How far could Sebastian Vettel be ahead when we've seen Lewis Hamilton or whoever drop to the back of the pack and then overtake everybody? And it's like, okay, wait a second.
Yeah, but an overtake is an overtake.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how
if it's
far,
on track, I think it should count.
But how far ahead is Sebastian Vettel? They need to be real specific on how they do it. It's got to be really direct, in your face, and the rules clear so that fans can keep track of it and understand what's going on and be engaged.
Well, here's the marketing line that they gave us. It says, let's see, where is this thing? We're delighted to be expanding our partnership with Crypto.com as we introduce the Overtake Award, which will integrate the brand into Formula One throughout the season, in addition to the title partnership of F1 sprint races. The Crypto.com Overtakes Award gives us a chance to celebrate the driver's instincts to make bold and strategic moves which reflect the qualities needed in dealing with cryptocurrency.
Hooray, Yhancy! Got my boat.
Well, let me see. There was the other one where they want to celebrate the braveness of, overtaking and stuff like that. Very marketing.
But you're right. I mean, like the focus.
But it should be like on track, bold overtakes.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be these like, I don't want to call it cheap because strategy is strategy, but these cheap overtakes that you might get and, in the pit lane and things like that. So.
It takes the eyes off of what could potentially be a boring race up front and puts it into the midfield. So I think that's a really smart thing to do on their end.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll see how it's executed. Next piece of news. The stewards overall dismissed the Aston Martin request for review of the Hungarian GP disqualification. So last we were involved in a Formula One race. Not us, but, we were watching.
Come on, you were. Stop being so humble.
Yes,
How many
onto
screens
the
did you
chair.
had?
Huh?
How many screens did you had watching it?
You were with me.
I know.
Sebastian Vettel had finished, second on the podium and was disqualified due to not having enough fuel at the end of the race that could be taken for a sample. Aston Martin appealed, saying, we have enough fuel, we just weren't able to extract it. Wasn't enough for the FIA. Appeal was dismissed, disqualifying Vettel, granting Lewis Hamilton second, and everybody else moved up a spot. At this point, right? Who cares?
Yeah, it just sucks for Vettel.
Yeah.
And it sucks for Aston Martin.
Drove his butt off.
Yeah, because...
Well, now we know why, because he was
he used more
He was running
fuel.
rich. Like, if it's the game, he was running rich energy.
which I know.
Rich fuel, I mean.
Nah, but I mean, it sucks for him, man. It sucks for Aston Martin because obviously that changes the, what we were talking about, that fifth place battle. It would have brought Aston Martin up to like fifth place, or actually right behind Renault, because actually Alpine Renault had a great race, obviously, with Esteban Ocon winning. But yeah, it just sucks. But it does spice up the race at the top the championship fight between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. So now, what is it, a 8-point lead?
Yeah.
So for Lewis Hamilton, that's crazy. He has the lead now. Before we thought, clearly we thought Max Verstappen was going to go into the summer break with the lead in the championship, and Lewis Hamilton is only one of the last I think I read something. One of the last 7 races, only won 1.
Yeah.
And Max has won 4.
Yeah.
And he's still behind.
Yeah. That's the 9th place gets you
Yes.
in Hungary.
Yep.
All right. So they couldn't produce, whatever. They couldn't produce the 1 liter of fuel. Que será, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you got to produce it. Every team does it. It's a rule that's been in place for years now, so everybody knows about it. If your fuel pump broke, your fuel pump broke. That's reliability. You need to be on top of that. It is what
especially when at the end of the race, you are the target, because you couldn't even finish the cool down lap. So you are a target.
Yeah, you're gonna be
now all the cars get checked.
Yeah, but it's like what we discussed the last podcast before the break. If you stop on the track and you don't make it into Parc Ferme, that's going to be a clear target for the stewards just to check you.
Check me.
Yeah, and obviously they checked both Williams cars and they checked Sebastian Vettel's cars. Both Williams cars could produce that 1 liter of fuel. Sebastian Vettel's car couldn't. So it is what it is.
Tough luck.
Tough luck, yeah. It just sucks. But those are the rules. Them's the rules. You must follow them.
One of the things we talked about before the summer break is damage to the cars, the cost cap, and like who should pay, who should be at fault, Geico, who are they going to go after? Mattia Bernardo also jumped in on this, saying that Ferrari has already accrued $2.5 million worth of damage. If you guys recall, in Hungary, not only did Valtteri Bottas cause that crazy collision right at the start, but Lance Stroll literally out of nowhere just wipes out Charles Leclerc.
Yo, for real, bro.
Lance Stroll was playing
completely
Super Mario
wiped out. Yeah,
Mario
Kart.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
It's like he went through a banana peel.
Dude. he, yeah. And you see Charles Leclerc spinning, right?
Yeah.
Damn. But $2.5 million, including that damage from that race. He's saying that something needs to be figured out. We talked about it last time, saying, yeah, something needs to be figured out because now it could be a serious impact on the championship standings. The crash at Silverstone alone cost Red Bull $1.5 million or $1.4 million, something like that.
Yeah, it's insane because also now what happens is that it directly affects the title fight, and we don't want the title. We want the title fight to be settled on track. We don't want it to be settled because of monetary issues.
Especially in the first year of the money.
Yeah,
on the money caps.
It's something that it might have been. It might have been overlooked. Obviously, you can look at it as an equalizer. But when two teams are equal, is it really an equalizer? It puts another team, especially if it's not the other team's fault, because obviously you've had. Let's just look at it, the title fight. Max Verstappen, he's a retirement in Silverstone. Obviously not his fault because Lewis hit him. And then and he finished 9th because he just couldn't move up the field because he
had so much damage.
He had so much damage because Bottas decided to just bowl everybody over.
Let's not forget Baku.
Yeah, Baku, which was a Pirelli thing. So, I mean, it's tough luck, but the championship fight should not be decided by this. And just the way they have introduced the sprint races as a look and see and try it out, this is something that has to be tweaked so it doesn't affect the on track action. Because at the end of the day, what we want to see is pure on track action. That's why we love to see the sport. We don't want it to be decided by anything else.
So if it was the teams that would have to pay, Mercedes would have like the biggest bill to pay. So far, because Silverstone was them.
Wiped out Lando.
Yeah, but I mean, just look at the engine thing. We could only go through 3 engines. Red Bull has gone through 2 already. Leclerc has gone through 2 already with Ferrari.
Well, that's part of reliability.
Is it? Or
It's just being sarcastic.
I mean, obviously the Honda engine after Great Britain, they thought it could go. It couldn't go. They had to change the engine. Yeah. Then they found another issue in Hungary with Verstappen's issue. I guess, and it was a part of the crash. They found a crack and a part in Leclerc's engine because Stroll decided to play Mario Kart. I mean, this is stuff that is not their fault. So why should they pay for it at the end? And at the end of the day, you're fighting for points. And we know that obviously we love to see the Drivers' Championship, but the most important championship, especially for the teams, the championship that makes the most that makes the money for the teams, is the Constructors' Championship. And you don't want that. You want to make sure that you have enough resources to fight for next year because everything is interconnected, especially with new rules coming in too.
Any thoughts, Ruben?
It definitely has to be ironed out so we can have clarity all aboard, and
at least for next year.
And we avoid this.
Yeah,
so crap.
I'm pretty sure we'll see some changes to the rules. The cost cap is a great idea. This is not railing against the cost cap, but there are obviously these are changes. These are things that are coming up. These are issues that have to be addressed, and I'm pretty sure that they will.
So if miraculously I over tighten a screw and it cracks something. Oh, there's something wrong with the engine now. Oops.
It
gets to be that petty sometimes.
I am going to get a tinfoil hat for us to wear especially you when you come up with these ridiculous ideas.
There's movies based on like stealing like ideas and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
It will get petty that way. Trust me.
Either way, I think a tinfoil hat will look good on you.
Have you do the tinfoil?
Yeah.
So it won't melt.
How do you melt tinfoil? All right, so we're going to jump into our...
Did you miss this, Wells?
No. This is why I didn't go Saturday. Except forget your birthday. So before we jump into the race preview for the weekend for Spa, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that we are, I'm going to do it now here, a lot of podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart Radio, TuneIn, Stitcher. We're on YouTube. Hello, Jump to Start Racing Podcast. We are on Instagram and Twitter at Jump to Start F1. Let us know what's up. Say hi. Drop a comment on the YouTube video, a review, preferably 5 stars if you like us. If not, let us know. Drop some constructive feedback. And that's it. Hit the subscribe. Hit the bell. And with that said, Dr. Ruben, lead us into your trivia.
Okay.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
He did it. So yeah, for us that we have not been at least this deep into F1, a track of this magnitude and history is tough for us to do trivia and now sound impossible for us, to answer or say, hey, how the hell did he know that?
There's a lot of new fans too.
Yeah, of course. So now that you guys off camera told me, yo, just make him harder. Okay, I would dig deeper into, some of these questions. And
here we go.
Okay, but this one was done lightly since I didn't know you guys were up for the challenge up to that magnitude.
I'm sorry, you didn't think that we
Yeah.
Do you think that less of us?
Yeah. I couldn't keep a straight face.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Name the driver that scored his first Grand Prix victory at Spa in 2019.
Charles Leclerc.
You got it.
Should have been all you, man.
I know. Damn it.
Okay, so but this is just a bonus point, a bonus question real quick, regarding.
Here we go.
Can you name the last driver to have their first Grand Prix victory win at Spa before Leclerc?
Michael Schumacher?
Oh, crap. Yo, he showed his game, son. Yeah, he did. He did it in 1992.
Will his son do it this year?
I doubt it.
Another Ferrari.
This was also
driver.
the track where Michael Schumacher had his.
He was a Ferrari driver at the time.
No, he wasn't.
He was not. He was a
Benetton.
Benetton at that time.
United
It was also the first Schumacher's first ever Grand Prix too, in F1, and that one was Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, he performed so well that a couple of races later, this Cuba.
You never cease to amaze, Ruben.
No, I did some reading today before the rest of the. They got another one that's a little
Tougher?
not tougher. I would say they're all going to be like that. Pretty easy, by the way. Name the last F1 driver to win a consecutive, Belgian Grand Prix. He's still part of the current grid, by the way.
Alonso?
It's got to be Hamilton.
Our boy Kimi in 04 and 05.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he does very well at this track.
Hamilton won in 20. Leclerc won in 19. Vettel won in 18, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. If he wins this year, he'll reach that. Hamilton.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's hope. This is also pretty easy, by the way. This one. Name the driver that was not a fan of the Halo, but was happy to have it in 2018 after a crash on a turn 1 incident crash.
Charles Leclerc.
You did it. I thought you would have that when I first started talking about
I know, but he got me first. He buzzed first.
it. Was Leclerc for server? He had an accident with McLaren at turn 1
How the hell?
when flying over his head.
I'm disappointed in myself.
It's okay.
You see what I'm
it's a long
saying?
weekend.
Can I go deeper than that?
You can if you want.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want you guys to be clueless. Yhancy was out today.
You know what? It was all the drinking at your house.
That's probably what it was too.
All
I should have just given you a couple of hints.
all the Casamigos.
Since you went,
Yeah. I felt like I've been treated unfair today, but it's fine.
Wow.
But we were talking about your boy. Most of the questions was answered to be your boy, Leclerc.
Yeah, but, listen, I'm a little bit hungover. I've been under
You know
the
what he messed up?
weather.
He should at least answer one of them as Charlie.
But the thing is, I couldn't get to the buzzer fast enough.
Damn. It was a computer in front of you. That's why I understand.
Yeah, I mean,
History.
history. Dun-dun-dun-dun. All right, so yeah, like I said at the beginning of trivia.
We're recording that for a drop.
So this area of Spa has been in motor racing since like 1923 or something like that. Motor racing as a whole, just engine racing, whatever you want to call it. The first race held at Spa-Francorchamps, whatever, was in 1925 regarding motor race. This has always been associated with, like I said, the motor racing. In the early days of any type of vehicles being around, the Francorchamps race course was built in 1921, and until 1924 it was only used for motorcycle racing. This changed after the success of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the ones that they have in France over this last weekend, where they actually went and created this 24 Hours of Spa. F1 has been running at the Belgian Grand Prix since the very beginning of Formula One, where Fangio won the first race. Only 2 times it has not been in the calendar. I believe it was in the early 2000s. It was something we had to do with bankruptcy and all that other stuff. The race years are known for being very, very, unpredictable weather all the time. This track is particularly famous for a lot of, things that I'm pretty sure we spend hours here, listening, but also some moments that we have to refuse, to forget them, which is pretty much, as far as like in 2019, the passing of Antoine Hubert, that after that, I would say horrible accident that happened. Most wins by drivers, Schumacher with 6, followed by a tie between Senna with 5. Actually, I'm sorry, wait. Number 2 is Senna with 5. 4 of them were back-to-back between 88 to 91. Then there's a 3-way tie for 4th place. That's why I jump, which is pretty much it's Jim Clark, Kimi, and Hamilton. They have 4 apiece. Hamilton could break, could. I would say,
move into
I smacked the mic. Yeah, move into.
Hamilton could smack the mic away from your mouth.
Exactly. Hamilton with a win this weekend, he could win. He could go and tie Shannon for 2nd place. Most win by constructor will be Ferrari with 18. That's like a big wow.
Damn, exactly. For real?
Closest one to him is McLaren with 14, which is another,
which is still a lot.
And number 3 is 8 for Lotus. Some of the highlights of history in this track regarding the actual race. Excuse me. In 1998, the race start massacre, where more than half of the field crashed under the rain. It was actually 13 cars were out of the race by like the first turn. What I mentioned earlier, Leclerc's first Grand Prix victory, also Schumacher's first Grand Prix victory that I mentioned earlier. Also the race again under the rain in 2000 between Mika Häkkinen and Schumacher, where Häkkinen was actually coming super fast behind Schumacher, but they were getting close to a back marker, and Schumacher went to the left. Normally, Häkkinen should have followed him so they could just get over. No, Häkkinen went to the right of it, past the back marker and Schumacher at the same time, and that was
a great overtake if you watch video of that.
Would that win the Crypto.com award, you think?
that would have been a notch on his belt.
And one that I've mentioned in the past, which is my favorite, is pretty much Sergio Perez, the big drift they did. That's a major highlight, I think anybody.
That was going through Rouge, wasn't
Yes.
it? That was insane.
What do you got, Wilson?
Radeon, actually.
What did I forget, was?
Nothing. I think you got it pretty much all. The only thing that's a little, you mentioned that it's very unpredictable with the weather, but I just want to bring it's run in the Ardennes forest in Belgium, so there's microclimates all over the place. So one part of the track could be raining, another part of the track could be crystal clear, like sky's blue, like nothing. Right?
I remember this track was shortened too, because the track used to go deeper into the mountains, like pretty much like a Nürburgring. Yeah.
Like Nürburgring, Hockenheim was the same way.
Oh, it was like that as well?
Yeah, Hockenheim used to go into the forest.
Oh my God,
crazy.
So we mentioned it in 2020. The winner was Lewis Hamilton. 2nd place, Valtteri Bottas. 3rd place, Max Verstappen. 2019, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas. 2018, Vettel, Hamilton, Verstappen. This is Vettel, obviously, with Ferrari.
And the cheating engine.
And, cheating engine in 18. So
Never gonna live this down.
Man, like, this is a hard one to predict because it's coming off of the summer break. We don't really know where the cars are going to be at, right? It's a real fast track. Actually, I think I could bring up the map on the screen. Wow, that looks terrible. But it's a really fast track. The start-finish straight leads into a hairpin turn, which leads into Eau Rouge, Radillon, and then the Camel Straight.
Would you say that's the fastest turn that we have in all F1? Yes.
One of them.
Yeah.
One of them, yeah. I mean,
I'm trying to think, is there like a kink somewhere? Like I'm thinking like Baku, like right before you hit that main street, you're
Yeah,
already
but-
going
Yeah,
flat
that's
out.
true. Yeah, that's another one.
But like,
but
I was scratching the game on that one in the back, by the way.
yeah, but I don't think it's as technical. And then Eau Rouge and Radillon with these
those
cars
are over
especially.
here. Well, I'm trying to.
Eau Rouge and Radillon has been like literally flat out for these cars. So I mean, it's still hard, obviously, because when you play the game, that's the only track I really drove in the game. It looks like you're literally heading into the mountains
Dude.
when you're going through there.
It's almost like a
insane.
blind, like you can't even. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how these guys do it. To be 100% honest,
Yeah,
because
and
like it's such a drop going into the Eau Rouge,
Didn't go up.
And
and then to
going
go up, that like you feel it in a roller coaster, and that a roller coaster typically goes much slower because obviously there's not babies, but there's kids and like whatever young adults, etc. Here you're a driver and you're going 200 miles per hour.
So imagine going you're going that fast just on the track. Imagine overtaking through there.
Dude.
Oh, somebody has. I just thought.
No, I know they
Oh,
have.
my
I'm
bad,
just
okay.
saying how.
No, Bottas did it to
insane-
Harding, flat out like that.
Yeah, like that's insane how you can. Yeah, that's crazy.
I just thought that one came into my hand.
Brendan Hartley. Wow.
Yeah, man. No,
I
because
forgot about that. Yeah.
he just did it like. Whoop.
But I mean, this is such a fast track. Like I'm really curious how the battle is going to shake out between Red Bull and Mercedes in this one, because we've seen Red Bull kind of really take advantage of their chassis, their aero in the slow, twisty sectors to be able to really push up on Mercedes, who has typically this season been faster on the straights.
Top end.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited to see. I'm excited. And hopefully I can see this race. Yeah.
Who do you think comes out on top?
Love always comes out on top. Isn't that the Beyonce song? Love on top. Oh, oh.
He's even singing it.
Dun, 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 dun.
You sound just as good as Beyonce.
She sounds just as good as me. Well, I mean, look. Just
Yeah, show your Tiffany diamond, the one that you modeled.
the
We went far again.
love on top. All right, so in the last couple of years, we've seen that Lewis Hamilton has either won or come in like second place. I don't think that changes. I think that he's going to win this race. I think we're back to the excellence of execution with the Mercedes. Unless Red Bull did some serious improvements to their car over the summer break, I just don't see Max Verstappen and Christian Horner being able to outperform Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes combo, especially on this track, and then especially, I think the next race is what, Zandvoort or Monza? I think it's Monza.
Month.
Yeah, so so I think qualifying it'll be Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas.
No,
And
I
then
didn't Sandvoort.
Sandvoort,
and then
and then Monza.
I think qualifying Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, and then the race I think it'll be Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas.
Fourth and fifth?
Lando and Perez.
Dude.
Yo, dude.
Yo, dude. What do you guys think?
Even though Mercedes has come out on top the last two races.
I mean, Love has and then Mercedes.
Well, that
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
too.
The song is stuck in my head now.
All right. Yeah, and you mentioned it. All right. Let's go back to Great Britain where Hamilton knocked out Max Verstappen essentially out of the race.
That feels like it was so long ago.
But it has been technically. I mean, it's been a while, and obviously at some parts of the track, yes, especially on the straights, Mercedes was faster. But we've seen Red Bull's ability to trim down the car, obviously put less downforce, and they still have enough downforce to get through corners quick enough. What would have happened if Max is not knocked out in Great Britain? And what would have happened if Bottas doesn't bowl everybody through? It certainly looked like Verstappen would have been ahead in Hungary also. So
He definitely made a comeback. Like,
yeah. So I'm still with Red Bull. I don't think that Mercedes has actually found a way to get ahead of Red Bull, to be honest with you. So I will
not even in the last 2 weeks.
No.
Okay.
So I will go with Verstappen, Hamilton,
That's quali.
and quali. Verstappen, Hamilton, Bottas. I will go with Perez, then Lando. For the race, I think that Verstappen is going to beat Hamilton to the line, even though that's going to be a fun first lap to see those two going off.
No crashes, please.
Yeah, no crashes. I think it'll stay the same top three qualifying.
Okay.
Verstappen, Hamilton, and Bottas. And then for the race, I say I don't even think Perez will finish in the top 5. I'm gonna put Lando, then Leclerc.
I agree with you on that. Because it's said that Ferrari is bringing, a lot of work to that engine.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think I'm in between the both of you guys. So, like, for example, I'm more towards Wells in the qualifying. I believe it's going to be a real close qualifying. This has been pretty much in the other races and stuff like in the past few races. I think Max might edge the pole, but I would say this one. But if you pick Max, but then you say, okay, why are you leaving Hamilton behind? They have an awesome package as well. And why are we doubting Bottas? Bottas has also has come through in this track when it comes to qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at Bottas qualifying, he's also been right there, if not just milliseconds away from either behind behind Hamilton or behind Verstappen. So it's a toss-up between, obviously the first two, but I will go, my guys for the qualifying will be Hamilton, Max, Bottas, and it's because why would you say Bottas when Max? It's like those, Max is going to get that much out of the car, so it's tough to say because Bottas does perform well in this track.
Right.
So it's tough to.
I'll give you one. Bottas actually has the fastest lap on this track.
I know I have that in my head. That's the reason why.
Like ever.
So.
But Bottas never comes through.
In quali, he does, though. He does very well in quali. All right, so 4th and 5th will be Paris. Cause
This is qualifying, you say?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What? Say it again. It's going to be Hamilton, Bottas, and
No, Hamilton, Max, Bottas.
Okay.
It will be, after will be Paris and Lando in qualifying.
How about the race?
The race is, again, it's going to be a toss-up because turn 1 is going to be very crucial to make it.
Not just turn 1, but going
Pretty much get
down
off the
the
line.
straight, down Eau Rouge, up Radiant, and through the Camel Straight. We've seen battles go that whole distance. So
Into Lacombe. You probably see that overtake going into
Can we go to the
Lacombe
bar this weekend and watch the
79.
race? If we can.
I would love to.
Okay.
We should try because we need that energy next to us as well, Because
So
this race
who's
is
going to win the race, Ruben?
Lewis Hamilton wins the race.
Okay. And who's going to come in second, third, fourth, fifth?
Max Verstappen will have second. Third will be, our guy Bottas. Fourth, you can't go against Mando either. And, Leclerc also has won this race before, so those perform well. But there's also guys behind in that in the past, this track has been very well as a constructor for them. So, for example, Alpine has performed last year tremendously on this track. So, and look at this, they're coming from, obviously, it wasn't a steal of a race to win, but they're coming from from a race they won.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and they're usually good at these fast tracks. So, should be an interesting.
I don't know, guys.
Should be a good race.
Give me one. If you give me one lap, a lap this long. I love Max. You guys know this. But there's nobody better than Lewis Hamilton to execute on a track like this. It's just the way I see it.
The best there is. The best there was. The best that ever will be.
And that 3-week rest.
All right, who gets the fastest lap?
That's so hard to predict.
Yeah.
But let's give it a shot.
It goes down to like.
Let's give it.
Because look what they did to.
Let's give it a shot.
In Hungary.
Who was it? Alonso or somebody like that?
Let's give it a shot.
I'm sorry. I was in Silverstone.
I say the
what
fastest.
They did to what Red Bull did.
I say the
they
fastest lap is going to go to
made
Paris.
him go further back in a position just so nobody else gets the fastest lap.
I say the fastest lap is going to go to Paris. I think Red Bull is going to try and claw back every point that they can in the championship, considering their bad luck. They're going to try it at the end. Who do you think, Ruben?
I think it'll be Bottas.
Ruben?
I'll go with Bottas because he doesn't want nobody else to take that.
Bottas,
I think it's going to be Max and him way out front, Bottas in no man's land. Perfect. Let's pit him. Let's get the fastest lap.
But obviously, we also have to mention that let's see how Ferrari performs here. They've been doing very well, and they've been up and coming, but they're coming with a bunch of upgrades. Let's see if it actually comes through.
Yeah.
Do we think at all that Perez will actually outperform Bottas anytime this year?
Yes.
When? When is he going to start?
I think that Mercedes car has an advantage in Belgium and in Italy, and I think after that, I don't know Zandvoort because we haven't seen cars there.
That's fair.
I think after that, we're going to start to see Perez just take off. He's going to be building towards Mexico. He is.
It's only 4 points away.
If that race happens.
Yeah. And Red Bull has developed that car further, and they always historically, their car just goes crazy at the end of the year.
By the way, 4th and 5th in the Drivers' Championship is Bottas and Sergio Perez, separated by 4 points, 108 to 104.
That's what you said.
No. Did you just say that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. You think Lando will hold on to 3rd?
Hell no.
And on that note,
I apologize, Ruben.
Gentlemen.
Sorry. I didn't hear you.
Anything else?
Sunday should be a very good race.
Should be all.
We are back.
Phenomenal
We're
race.
back. F1 racing's back. Summer break is
With
over.
a triple header.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
It's race week. See you guys later.
Bye.